I don't either.
'Cause I might be going scorched earth.
Might be doing what?
Going scorched earth a little bit here.
It's all right. It's all right. You went to a big rock and roll festival this last night. You're
right.
probably still amped up,
Yep.
ain't you?
Yeah, Slayer was the last band, so I'm very amped up still. You're right.
Slayer was the last band?
Yep.
Oh, man. My gosh.
I
Jason's a hard rocker
I
from
can't-
way back.
I can't say here what Slayer is technically called when you say their name, but it starts with the F word and ends with ing. So
There you go. Oh, there you go. Well,
Yeah.
you guys that are listening or watching, you guys can fill in the rest.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So good way to start off week 5 of the Bobcat Roundup with Jason Daniels. We're we're recapping our week, right, Jason?
Yeah. I mean,
I follow you on Facebook, and I was like, oh man, he's gone. He's going to take off the middle of the week and go listen to some rock music.
No,
So,
last night was the absolute best night of the 4 days.
yeah,
And I'm 52, almost 53 in a couple weeks, and there ain't no way, and you know what, that I could make it 4 days at a festival like that, because I was dead after last night. So many good bands last night. So
Yeah.
I got my feel, and I'm good.
awesome. I'm glad you had a good time.
Oh
So,
yeah.
Bobcat started out a little slow. Feel like got
A lot slow.
I know Seal and I mentioned a few times there was a lot of juice over here on this Cherokee sidelines.
I could hear it.
They were and the fans they were especially when right here at halftime we run in tied up. But
I mean, we had 100 more yards than them at halftime.
so
probably shouldn't have been.
we were talking about Seal. Thanks for sending the stats. And Seal, I was like, "Are you sure those were right?" And he goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, we did give them really good field position right here. Bokey had that 12 or 14-yard punt that went out of bounds at about the 48, and it gave them real good short field, and they went down and scored on that drive. And I think that was actually their 14th point, so that was the last of it. But
Well, no, the punt that he gave them, that was in the second quarter. This one down here in the second half, they got a 27-yard drive because we had a 15-yard personal foul on Trey.
gotcha.
And it moved it from the 42 to the 27. So.
Yeah. So
they had 2 short drives, really. But
yeah, and I felt like Seal and I was talking. I felt like if we got that 14-point lead, the way the Cherokees' offense was geared, as long as we didn't make any detrimental mistakes turning the ball over or no crazy turn-up penalties or anything,
Correct.
we felt like we could control the narrative from there on out. And I think that's what Biggs did, and we got a couple late touchdowns there to kind of spread it out on them, or at least one late right there to Jet. So
Yeah.
if you want to get into it, I'll just tell you right now, Jackson Jet had a hell of a game tonight.
Oh, just wait.
Yeah,
We'll get to
so-
that last. We'll do the
okay.
individual stuff last, but we'll start with
Yep.
the home team. Greenback had 11 first downs. They ran the ball 37 times for 159 yards, which that was basically their offense. You're going to hear it right here. Passing, they completed 1 pass, 7 attempts, 1 interception, 19 yards. They punted 4 times for a 33-yard average. They had 9 penalties for 75 yards. The ball never touched the ground either team, so 0 fumbles or 0 loss the entire night. But their total yards of offense was 178 yards.
So another good job by the Bobcat defense this week.
Yes, agreed. Once they, like you said, those 2 drives they had, both of them ended up being really short anyway. So
Yeah.
the 14 points, I'm sure he doesn't like. And before I get to OS, let's just say this: we better not start out like this next week. Rockwood's tough.
Rockwood laid the wood to Harriman tonight.
Yep.
It's 49-14, I think, is what the final was.
I'm not
but
surprised.
Yeah, I'm not either. I think Harriman's a little I don't know. I thought Harriman might be just a tad bit better than that. I don't know. I haven't seen them play. I can't judge them too much, but
just them losing to Wartburg.
To
after
Wartburg.
seeing Wartburg last week, I just kind of think that they must be a little bit,
Yeah.
must not be as good as. That's a comparison, obviously, 2 different games. You never know, but
no,
not just
no.
what I'm going by.
But yeah, you're right. We can't come up flat like that against Rockwood next week because is it Coach Webb?
John Webb.
Coach Webb,
a good friend.
Yeah,
of mine,
he's an outstanding gentleman. He's an outstanding man. I've got a chance to have discussions with him. Don't know him that well, but over the years, and he's just always been very respectful and cordial and everything. So
taught a couple of my girls. So they went to Rockwood. So
yeah, cool.
He and I have always been pretty close for the most part. But
I guess him
he's
and
the only
Panky.
coach. He's the only coach that you'll see me go out and shake hands after the game.
Yeah,
I don't have anything against anybody else. It's
Yeah.
just how well I know him. That's what
Yeah.
it is. It ain't got nothing to do with anything else. I don't know anybody else really.
yeah. I think a lot of the Rome County coaches have tremendous respect for him.
Yes.
You know, because I guess him and Panky are the longest tenure now.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't know which one's been there the longest, but we'll get. Sorry,
Webb's been there since like 94, 96.
Has he really?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's been a long
So,
time. Okay. For the Bobcats, with 21 first downs, probably the most of the season. 28 rushes for 175 yards. Bokey, this was all Bokey, 14 of 27 passing, no interceptions, 252 yards. And let me tell you this real quick. He and I had a discussion. He started out 1 of 7. And I told him over there, I said, 2 years ago, Bokey would have fell apart, wouldn't he? And he said,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
He said, yeah. I said, see, that's what makes you a good football player. You got it together, and he went on. So, he realized that too. So I'm
think
glad he agreed with me.
I think that's a good example. You know, there was a couple of plays. I know one right here. He's rolling out. And give Greenback credit. They had everybody covered, and he throws it away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you said 2 years ago, Bokey's trying to make a ball play. He may try to throw it back across the field, and there might be a miscue or something.
Yeah,
but
you never know.
You never know. So,
well, 2 punts for a 17-yard average. That didn't go very well. Obviously, we had 7 penalties for 70 yards. And 427 yards total offense.
427 yards.
Now, Mr. Jet, I don't know if you know who he is or not, but he had kind of a good game. I don't know if you saw that. He might have paid attention, but he did. 6 receptions, 174 yards. He ran the ball 16 times for 168 yards.
6 receptions for what? I'm sorry?
174. On defense, he had 3 tackles and an interception that he returned 10 yards.
Yep.
And they had zero answer for him once he got out, where he could make his cuts. I'm sure. I mean, if I was on their team, I would have been so frustrated. It's got to be frustrating because you think you have him, and then he's just gone. And he scored all 5 touchdowns tonight. So because of that,
what a game! What a game! I'm just going to tell you right now, if you're tuned in,
2 passing, 3 rushing.
I'll make sure that 5-Star Preps, and I know Jason sends all his stats to them and nominates him for Player of the Week. If he ain't in that list and you guys don't vote, don't you come and talk to me next Friday night. So that's that.
I will be sending that to Jesse Smithy when I get in the car.
Yeah.
Immediately, because I've already got these stats. So, he'll get nominated. You know, the kid from Grace last night had an incredible game. So
he had 13
rushes, 391 yards, 6 touchdowns. But you know what, Jet? His numbers is 352 yards combined total offense.
Yeah.
And 5 scores. I mean,
and 5 scores and a pick. And a pick.
And a pick. I don't know the kid at Grace probably doesn't play defense because private school, they got a lot of players.
Yeah. I almost had a second pick here, really close right there at the end of the game.
Yep, he did. Yeah, I thought he was going to have a second one there.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's a great individual performance by Jet. And how many? I was curious. Cooper Jones started out really strong on the defensive side of the ball. I was kind of curious. I know he had to end up with at least 12 or 14 tackles tonight.
16 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss.
Yep. We just called his name a lot.
That gives him 56 in 5 games, by the way.
That's good. I mean, last week he's a little bit off, but he had 17 in that Oakdale game a couple weeks ago. And then I think last week I looked at your stats. Thank you for sending that. I looked at your stats, and I think he had 11 or 12 tackles last week, and it felt like a weird week for Cooper. But I know tonight he was just like everywhere. And so I had made the comments like Cooper has got the senior leadership and got the defense lined out, and Jet's got the offense lined out. So
I don't know if you noticed when it was a 7-point game, they put Cooper in blocking.
They did. He was doing a lot of motion over to the side, and
he was.
He'll lay the wood to somebody.
He will. He will. He will definitely lay the wood to just about anyone.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, I hope he continues on playing, whether it may be somewhere small. I don't know. His size. I don't know how all that stuff works, but hopefully he ends up somewhere and gets to continue playing because he deserves it.
Yeah.
He deserves a shot somewhere.
Yes, they do. So if you're listening out there or watching, share with somebody, share with a coach at a college or something. I'm sure these kids are getting their names out there and stuff, but I'm with you, Jason. There's a few of these kids that I'd love to get in a car and go watch them play somewhere Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would do it. I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
And even if they weren't even playing, I'd be there. I want to make sure that, because – yes, you said when you started, you like, if I know Jackson Jett, hell yeah, I know him. I've had to coach against him at youth level, at basketball and football. Never got to play much in football. We did scrimmage Derek and him a few times, but Jackson was just a little terror with a mohawk, run around 4 or 5 year old, and he was hard. You just couldn't catch him. You had to try to contain him, But, yeah, he's just
So he kept the M theme because he has a mullet now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So there you go.
Yeah, it was a pretty strong mohawk back in the day. But, yeah, so I pulled up some information this week. I mentioned last week about I think I'd said it was 1988 was the last time I thought we won a region title.
And I could not.
So that is not true. I misspoke. In 2011, you were right. You had mentioned.
I did say that. Yeah.
You had mentioned that. Hey, Wiley didn't win that.
I just.
He did.
Remember. Okay.
He did. He finished 3-0 in the region. That's when we had 4 teams in that region. 4 AA.
Mm-hmm.
It was Oneida, us, Wartburg, and
probably Rockwood. Was it Rockwood?
It felt like it was Rockwood. Shoot,
it would make sense. Rockwood would have been 2A then.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they wouldn't have been in our region, but they did end up in that region with Megs for a while. So they may have been in there with Megs at that time. I don't know. I don't know.
I'll try to pull that up. But that was obviously the team that made it to the state semifinal
game. It would have
game.
been Rockwood. No, because they were in the region with Megs with one of my girls
Were they?
when they graduated. So yes, yeah. So yeah.
I don't remember who it was, but it's a 4-team region.
Yeah.
And Oliver Springs finished 3-0 under Wiley bracket that year and won the region in 2011. So apologize if Wiley bracket's out there listening. That you did get the last region title that the Bobcats have in 4 AA. So, but yeah, that was a historic season up to that point. Semifinal game, lost to Friendship Christian, which went on and won the state championship.
Yes.
That year. So,
and I remember watching that game and thinking to myself, if we could have beaten Friendship, we would have won the state title that year. They played Dresden, I believe, and we just laid it to them.
Yeah. Obviously, the defensive unit was our TTSN Players of the Week last year. Last week, Seal and I went back and forth a few times, and we finally I think he just succumbed to me. But I don't know. Anyway, but I'd mentioned something about back-to-back shutouts, and I misspoke again about that. That was the first back-to-back shutout that we've had since 2023, just a couple years. But
right.
I did pull up some more data. Coach Green had back-to-back shutouts twice in one season in 2019 over Rockwood and Northview, and then in week 3, he had shutouts against Rockwood and Northview, and in week 3 and 4, and then week 9 and 10 he did it against Cofield and Midway.
Okay.
So 4 games that season. He had 4 shutouts. So my mind's a slipping a little bit. I should remember further back in that. So.
And you said 23 though, so in 23 it probably was about what I thought. Was it like Sunbright and Oakdale or something back to back? Okay. Was it them? Well,
I didn't look. I'll bring that next week. 2023. It felt like it was an Oakdale and a Sunbright game.
Maybe I don't know. Oakdale had some good offenses back in a few years.
They did.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. I'll bring that with me next week.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got next week we got Rockwood coming. That is our second tied with our second longest running team that we played. I don't call it rival or nothing, but it'll be the 68th time we played Rockwood. The Tigers they've got us. We were 27 wins and 40 losses against the Tigers, so we need to get on a little. We've had I went back and looked at some data, Jason, and it's streaky. We'll win 2, and then Rockwood will come back and win a couple, and then we'll win 2. And it seemed like there was a season or 2 there we didn't play.
No.
But yeah, it's kind of streaky. So it sounds like, based off the score that I seen, I don't know anything about what happened, but it sounds like Coach Webb's got the troops lined up down there scoring 50 points tonight against Harriman. So, and that's a rival game. I don't. Usually you get juiced. Harriman usually gets juiced up for that game. and obviously it's a big thing. They had rivalry Friday down there
Yes.
tonight, so yeah.
Yeah, they did.
So it's always good, Jason, to get over here in Cooperfield and get away with a win. I think this is we won 2 years ago. We come over here.
Yeah, I think it's our second ever.
Second ever. Yeah, I mentioned at the first of the game we're 5. This tonight was the 15th time we played Cherokee, or the Cherokees. I'm sorry. And we're 5 wins and 9 losses. So now we're 6-9 against them.
But we didn't start playing them until they put us in the same district.
Yeah,
we played them 2 years before the district in non. I think we were still 2A, and they beat us both years.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah. What data I seen, Greenbacks always played single A ball.
Yes.
They've never been in another classification.
No, they wouldn't. They would never have been big enough to. I don't think.
And they. So yeah, so they definitely still got the leg up on us. But Coach Harper's 4-0 against Greenback. Now he was 3-0 before tonight. Now he's 4-0. So it feels good. You were part of this over here at 15, 16, 17, 18 when we had to come over here, and we had some really good teams.
Mm-hmm.
We brought Gavin Hill. We brought Mason Hill over here. We had some really good offensive linemen, Lamance, and a few of them young men, and still walked away here with our tail tucked between our legs. And
Yep.
you know, I had the opportunity to talk to, they called him a Greenback legend here when we got here. What was his name? He was a coach here. He's got a plaque on the concrete down there.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good guy.
I can't think of his name. But
What I met of him, and he was just telling me that, you know, they're just working on their culture, getting things straightened out here. You know, all that turmoil that not turmoil, but they have had a lot of turnover since Coach Ryan left here,
Yes.
and they've had some coaches, and so it's just
it just shows you how fast it can go south.
you dang right. I mean, we could be sitting. You know, I'm blessed to be a Bobcat fan right now. But we could be sitting here in 3 years and be depressed and disappointed in the same thing, I guess.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
well, Jason, I'll let you go.
You know, is there any? I wonder if people have any curiosity of how I started doing this, because I actually talked to the man who got me to start doing this in August of 1990. I graduated May 1990.
Yeah,
But I'm guessing you don't know.
I do. I think I know. How's
You think
that?
you know? All
I
right.
think I know.
Mr. Thermer.
Mr. Thermer, he was
doing
one,
offense at the time.
Mr. Thermer, what I know, he was my teacher in middle school. I think he was 5th, 6th grade, and that's about what I know of him. I didn't even know he did stats.
He was doing the offense. He was, once he gave it up, I took over offense and had to find a defensive person. And until the last 10 or so years, it was kind of hard there for a little while. And in fact, there was a few years I did both. I was doing both, and I'm sure it was not good. But that is what it is. And since we are talking about Wiley Brackett, I didn't tell a story last week. I'm going to tell one this week. So there's only ever been one time that I've ever seen the chain guys. They stay on the visitor side.
Yeah.
And they got moved from the visitor side to the home side. We were playing at Scott County, and their chain guys would not stop cheering in the coach's box. They can cheer all they want to outside, but Wiley's trying to coach, and they would not stop, just would not stop. And I was behind the chain guys, and the referee come over there and told them, look, you guys cannot be cheering up here. Coach is trying to coach. He's getting aggravated. Well, they didn't know I was behind them. And they said, I will bust that coach in the mouth. And there was an expletive before mouth.
Oh.
And I said, oh, really? So I told Brackett, he called timeout. They moved him to the other side of the field. And after the game, Coach, I think his first name was Randy Shannon, I think his first name was Randy, I'm not sure. He came over and asked me what happened. I told him the exact story I just told you.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened after that, but I will never, ever, ever forget that, because I have never seen, again, only time in 36 years. So there's my story for the week.
Yeah, thank you.
That I like to tell. I didn't get to tell one last week. So.
Well, I see a lot of
next week,
Greenback
maybe.
faithful here looking up here. They're yelling at CL, telling they're going to turn the lights out. I
Yeah,
said, turn the damn things out. I don't care. I
well.
got flashlights. And
Well, they did that to Cosby, so they will do it.
well, Yeah. So, Jason,
Had to
thank you.
apologize. Yeah, man.
Thank you for
Yeah,
joining
you're
us,
welcome.
and
You're welcome.
I'll see you next week.
Yep.
Have a
Sounds
good week.
Yeah.